We are live.
And we are live.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to another episode of AwakenToJoy Live Sunday Chat. Welcome, new, oldies, besties, everybody. Good morning. Bonjour.
Bonjour tout le monde.
Bienvenue.
Bienvenido. Bienvenido. How do you say it again?
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Okay, buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Bonjour.
Love it.
Hey community, hey soul family, hey star seeds, everybody from everywhere. Whether you are in the chat or whether you are just chilling out on your Sunday, whether you're still in bed and like, listen, I will put you on in my ears, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not rolling out yet.
I'm seeing
Welcome.
I'm seeing some German here. Hang on a minute. Let me see this.
Hi.
Yeah. Hello, Heiko.
Hi, Heiko.
I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna have a go. It's like we get. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it is. I only did German for a year.
Oh, I never did it. I did Spanish.
Hi, I'm going to roll through everyone I see in the chats. Heiko, Asiel, Juliana, Tom, Diana, hiya. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, everyone, everybody. I'm gonna hold on. Yeah. But by the way, you're welcome, Tom.
Listen, all of the wisdoms is here. Jay, Kennedy, Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
Stacy. Oh, hey, blessed.
Coherence,
yeah.
Coherence handler. Do you know what? I'm trying to find a shorter name for you. So not too sure.
We're gonna try and find
what
out
you want us to call you.
How to cut down coherence handler.
Right.
Well, we're gonna go for coherence, but I'm feeling into Coco, so you take that how you want. But that's what it might happen. Okay.
Coco. All right. Oh, that's one of them. Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, I hope everyone is feeling fine and happy and high vibes today. Hope everyone's feeling into their power and their divinity and their sovereignty today. And yeah, let's just get straight into it.
Let's talk about contact.
Let's talk about
what we're talking about really today.
Do you know what? You have some 2 fire words, and this time, peeps, as quiet as it's kept, and for the first time, I actually was like, why don't you do these words? And he was like, you know what? That sounds good. Usually he gets his ideas from you or he gets a download, but this time he was like, yeah, I could do that.
You know what? That's a lie.
What do you mean?
Remember the last time?
No,
that was you words. You say
it was Deanna's.
Well, the time before, there was another time.
No,
it's not
that
the first time.
Yeah,
like all theatrics. That's the first time. And the first time. We're used to it now. You got involved.
I got involved.
What?
I got involved. I put my foot down.
It's
not too hard, because he does the breakfast and the breads, and your girl knows
you
what
can't
size
be
her toast
missing
is.
out on that mocha,
no,
right?
No, I won't have my mocha played with.
Right.
But all my breaded goods, but lovingly. What about these 2 words? I know I'm getting in your business. Don't get in mine.
Well, are we starting? Are we starting with the words?
We are. Let's start with the words.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know why, but I feel like compelled to talk about contact as well.
Well, then talk about contact.
I mean,
then.
may or may not. Well, maybe another time we'll just go live during the week or something.
It's been a big thing for us this week because we've been finding out a lot about implants. We've been finding out a lot about. We've been having a lot of downloads, and I think it's because we were around the energy of Steve, and he's and the past life regression. A lot of those memories came up for us, and then we've both in our own private lives been digging into all of that stuff as well, separately and together. So yeah,
I've been when it comes down to having implants or stuff up into your body and you can't explain it, like overnight something happening. what has been happening. Like, so I know, and many of us has been through these things. You got spot, you don't know why is there, and the high happens, and that cover night, you wake up in the morning, and I'm not talking a spot that you can bust. I'm talking like a weird shape. Anyway.
Yeah. And it's the 888 Lionsgate. There's so much opportunities opening for all of us. I mean, we're always in the alignment with opportunities, but we're elevating it out here. We are amplifying it out here.
Yeah,
what's
Lionsgate,
everyone got
sure.
going on? If you care for Lionsgate at all, or if you just stay in the frequency of Lionsgate and like, listen, I command my reality regardless.
I keep the gate open.
Heart of a lion type of vibes. Where you at with that, collective? Where are you at?
Yeah, where you at? Because maybe you've got that energy and you just nah, it's always open for me. What was that?
Juliana's like, you can't mention contact and not talk about it. Like, why are you playing her out in these streets? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll
then
talk
just
about
chat about it.
You know
first.
what? We'll cross.
Oh no. Bless is in on it. Implants,
we'll cross reference. Okay, we'll cross reference, and that's the best way you can do it. Anyway, so let's talk about.
He says, I've always wondered about the music in my head that I never stop or switch off. Radiohead, right? If you know, you know. Seems to me I've had more control over that. If it were natural. Have you heard about people having meltdowns after going and seeing the MJ film? That's the thing. They're like, you know, it's amplified type of thing as well.
You've got some stuff out there, voice to skull technology or whatnot.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
for sure. Lionsgate amplification. It's all happening. Everyone's got this. Yeah, everyone's tapping into it.
See this?
Everyone's tapping into it. 14-4. I love it.
Yeah, 144. Jinx. I was going to say, by the way, I smash the like button. I didn't think I was going to say it one day, but
here you go.
Here I go to help the content. So, thank you.
Let's get started. So
power
you're gonna get into the words and then contact?
Yeah. We'll do that.
See what I mean about these Netflix sponsored hangers that cliffhangers he be keeping us on.
Shush, man. Light. Okay, let me do it.
All right, go on.
Very important words.
Very important.
So I'm going to read something real quick. So from childhood, many of us become accustomed to asking, can I go? Can I speak? Can I enter? Can I do this? So as we grow, these questions often become formalized through licenses, permits, approvals, qualifications, contracts, and agreements. So in practical society, many of these structures serve clear purposes: coordination, safety, accountability, and establishing mutually understood conditions. But there is another question worth exploring. When does practical permission become an internal belief that we require external permission to act at all? There is also an important difference between given a choice and being given only one acceptable choice. An agreement is meaningful when we understand what we are agreeing to, what alternatives exist, what the consequences are, and whether our consent is genuinely ours to give. So the deeper inquiry becomes, who am I asking permission from and why? What happens if I say no? Are other possibilities available? Am I agreeing consciously or simply because agreement has been presented as the expected response? So the purpose is not to reject every rule, license, permit, or agreement. It is to become more conscious of our relationship with permission itself. Because sometimes permission is practical, sometimes it protects shared boundaries, and sometimes the permission we have been waiting for is our own. So I wanted to cover today license. What license truly mean? So the etymology of license. And okay, the reason why is because we have what we call here TV license to pay. So you pay your TV license or whatnot for a service we don't really use. And we had this talk, me and Shem, about, don't you think it's weird that we all agree to this, pay to this establishment that, let's face it, we rarely agree with, but yet we still have to do it or feel we have to do it. And Shem say, you know what? Maybe it's a good idea you cover that word. That's how it came about.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you
He's
know what,
giving the
touche.
very refined version of me cussing in full blown patois about this. I was up in arms. Your girl was out here cussing bad word in these streets about these TV license people. Daylight robbery. Daylight robbery.
We don't watch your shitty programs, but
I
yeah,
don't watch your shitty programs. I don't like your shitty channel. I never liked your shitty channel. Your channel never liked people like me that looked like me, spoke like me, cared about the things I cared about. I moved on to cable and elevated my life. And then I further then moved forward to YouTube
right.
and have that as my mainstay television where I choose what the fuck I want to watch. And hey, you come asking me for a license to watch a television I've been paid for. Okay?
So
So what are we really saying here?
when you think about it and you ask the simple question, which we said so many times before, basically, why? Ask why. Why do we have to pay? Okay, even if they give you the answer, they say, well, you have to pay because this contribute to BBC or whatever other channels or the other channel, ITV or whatever. But then you ask yourself, okay, in what way? Why do we need to contribute to these people? It's a business, right? It's like me saying, I've got my business and I need you guys to pay a fee or a tax so you can contribute to my business. Whenever. And it's funny, we had this episode with Steve Burgess. And then we mentioned these massacres, like somewhat we agreeing to things that are mad. It's like I don't know anymore if we are moving mad or whoever is actually make us agree or trying to get us to agree to things or moving mad. But this is mad. If you really break it down for
It's
what
mental.
it is, it's mental to think, oh, hang on, there's this business out there and they need your support. And then we have judgment on people that are on benefit, for instance, or somewhat, they less fortunate, so they need help.
Or they're not less fortunate, but maybe they want to
no, but
start
this is
something and then they decide, okay, I want to do like a GoFundMe, or I'd like to
Yeah.
have a donation or something like that. And then we simultaneously pay for these people to have a lunch break and we don't even watch their shit.
exactly.
But because it's taken through taxes or whatever, we sit there and pay it and act like they're not on the ultimate benefit, which is the tax pay, which is the one where it's like an imposed license.
But the way it's framed, though, when you have countries, they have, I don't know about you guys in America, whether it's the Obamacare or whatever else they've done. I know over here in the UK or even France, they have something called benefits. And basically, they frame it as for the one that are the least fortunate, whatever. But like Shem just said, it's like, are we paying benefit to these people? At the end of the day, that's how it looks like to me. But
and these are the same people who make a program about people who take benefits.
So now, since the internet and
Tell
streaming,
me,
they even
give it to me
exactly
as to what is going on.
So they extended their reach now because obviously, streaming. So they had to justify like, yeah, well, if you stream us or remotely through Amazon, then you got to pay because we are part of it. There's a lot of things that Amazon streamed, and trust me, I don't watch all of it, but somewhat still yet. Huh?
You're trying to get in on
It's
it.
a persistence business model.
I was like, tell me who is mother, brother, cousin you are to be able to get this set up, whereas you can impose and knock on my door about this shit.
Exactly. So let's move on. Basically, I'm just going to tell you the etymology of it for the one who don't know. Obviously, maybe you guys know already, but anyway. And again, it's not to not use the word. It's just maybe have a different perspective on it. So license. So it's from Latin, licentia, meaning freedom, liberty, permission, leave to act. So it has multiple meanings. So depending, basically, you could possibly choose how you can interpret it for yourself. And it's derived from licere, to be permitted, to be allowed, to be lawful. So the linguistic root of license is closely connected with liberty. But liberty is freedom. So what are we saying here? Someone obviously
Somebody's taking liberties.
took a liberty to, blur the lines here. But its later usage came to describe permission granted by an authority to perform a particular activity. So it wasn't originally what it means now. So you can understand the distortion in that. So believing authority creates your underlying ability, confusing permission with capability.
Sorry, I'm reading the comments.
What's that?
I'm reading the comments. Let's just say everybody in the comments done with it.
All right, we're all done. So okay, well, greater question. I want
we've all together just collectively just been like, nah.
So let's think about it. All we're trying to do here, okay, if there's mass hypnosis, how putting someone in trance can work. I mean, Steve described it very well. So basically, there's key things you do, and it gets people in a trance, right?
Or they get themselves in a trance.
Or they get themselves in a trance.
Which is what he explained.
Which means
really
the opposite
well.
is true as well, how you come out of that trance. Because tell me how, think about it, tell me how the majority of people do not agree with it, but yet will still comply to it. How do you get to do that? Who's been forceful here? Or are we being hypnotized enough? So we just make excuses as far as well, we're still doing it. Anyway, but there's something here. I think that perhaps by what my intentions are is by just sharing this with you guys, somewhat there's your frequency just shift to something that can wake up other people around you somewhat. Sometimes it's what, it's true, and then somewhat, because we do influence the collective consciousness. So bringing it to awareness has its own effect. Anyway, so unconsciously surrendering discernment because something is officially authorized. That's the distortion. So assuming approval determines personal worth. So what it was intended to be, formalized permission, recognized qualification or authorization, and even that, agreement within a shared framework, responsibility accompanying permission. So this is the thing. I think that for everything that's been there that we didn't collectively decide. So originally, if you were going to do a license, you collectively decide this. So this is why now it's the time we collectively decide we no longer need it, even if it doesn't show itself physically. I know that on a conscious level, this will manifest itself in the physical. I've seen it before. We had in France something called taxe d'habitation, which is another, it's not exactly like the council tax, but it's some form of, because we do have council tax, like a double tax process when you get a house in France.
But it's like home.
Exactly.
So it's not your house, it's your home.
It's
so
your
you don't
home,
have to own it or not. You pay it if you
pay
live
it,
anywhere. If
So-
you don't live on the streets, you pay in taxe habitation là.
So they got rid of it, but that's because people started waking up to it, and I'll be like, what is this? Anyway, so I'll just give an example. So instead of I need their permission to know what I am capable, you could shift to I recognize my capability while understanding the requirements of the system I am participating in. So it's acknowledging what's going on. So when you acknowledge what's going on, things changes around you. Now I'm going to move on to permit, so then we can get time to talk about other things. So basically, permit, the etymology of it is from Latin, permitter, meaning to let through, to allow, to let go, to give permission. So formed from per, through, and mitter, to send, to let go. So the root of permit carries the imagery of something being allowed to pass through. So obviously the distortions, waiting indefinitely for approval, believing another person determines what is possible for you, confusing external permission with inner sovereignty, automatically assuming not permitted means not possible. And that's the reason why is because we've seen even about taxes in general, how a lot of the wealthy people have found a way around it. Though the law is there, but there's ways around it. And that's without necessarily cheating.
They just
It's
they
all
just
legal,
know it.
but you
So
just
they
know it.
just stand in the and you can hate it or not or form a campaign around it, but they're like, no, I'm abundant and I'm not going to do this bullshit with you, this
Exactly.
bullshit dance with you, and I will find my way around it because I am free.
Exactly. And you can only experience the frequency that you are. So if you want something, shifting to that brings more freedom ultimately, because you don't see it as being the be all and end all. You just start thinking, oh, this is possible.
I think a lot of the chat are already there because a lot of it is like basically anywhere between laughing in its face, okay, or just being aware that it's ridiculous and saying, I know this is ridiculous. I know what it is. I know it's a dead entity, as Blessed as said as well. I know that this is all stuff that if we don't just collectively say no,
But you know what you have to
we
do?
won't get to a place where it's like it doesn't exist anymore because we all said no.
But I've realized some things, all petition and all that stuff. They show you this is all fake. It doesn't work like that. But on a conscious level, to process it through in that way, realize that okay, ask yourself the question why then this is possible, and you understand how it is possible, and consciously not saying okay, I'll reclaim my energy. Then when collectively everybody does that, you do start seeing the true change in your environment. But before that, you don't. You only see people who don't agree with and people who are signing petitions.
Yeah, you only see the fight, you don't see the
that, right?
resolve.
No,
But this is why I'm saying the resolve is going to be found here. So Jay talks about deprogramming the self to
absolutely,
be like,
100%. Yeah,
no, this I do not consent.
yeah, I do not consent. Yeah,
We got sovereignty. Coco be like sovereignty out here.
straight.
It just dissolve the thing in sovereignty. Just dissolve it all. We
Exactly.
got blessing. It's all gatekeeping. The joke is that not one embodied soul would want anything to do with what's on the other side of the gate if they truly knew what it was. Right. And most of us aren't interested, but we kind of like that's why we resolve it as kind of like an apathy, but it's more of a I reject the whole thing.
Yeah, you have to. Okay, do okay. It's interesting what you're saying because you say most of us, and then when you said that, I was like, yeah, go along with the program. Most of us go along with the program.
Yeah.
Knowing
I was
something,
kind
it's
of
not
thinking
enough.
most of us as in the chat and the soul family and the soul tribe were a bit like, I want nothing to do with either side of this gate. I don't want the gate. I don't want this side and I don't want that side. I'm
Well,
done with this whole situation.
Yeah, but this is funny because this goes back to the pillars, and it's not about, I'm not trying, it's no financial advice or health advice or anything like that I'm given. All I'm saying, it's about entertaining the idea that perhaps things can change from a different perspective. We are so used to change things in the physical, but the physical, it's a symptom of what's happened in the non-physical.
From the
So
energetic, like
yeah,
energetically, how do we feel?
yeah.
Which leads me to the follow-up. So energetically, they had sent me something in what they thought was my name, and I was like, yo, I don't actually adhere to that, because that's not actually me. You're sending that to the strawman, so I don't know what you're talking about. So then they then sent someone to my house who was a lovely soul, who, as well, funny enough, didn't actually what high key was like, hey, I'm here. Listen, I'm just putting a suggestion out here. You do what you want with it. And I was like, it it's not my priority, and it never will be. I'm not going to pay this over feeding myself. I'm not going to pay this over feeding my children. I'm not going to pay this over forwarding myself or doing anything else that I have to do to make sure that I stay in my highest frequency. Do you catch me? This is daylight robbery, and I don't co-sign. And he was like, I feel you. You know what? Actually, forget about this, and this. And let's just see about that. And I was like, to the point where it was like, what can you do? And I was like, right now, I may, because I watched the World Cup, I may chuckle and throw you like that much. And he was like, bet that much.
And then how do you
And
know?
if you can't, ring that number.
Look,
It was like, it went from being, this is what you have to do, to totally optional,
and
because my frequency changed inside about the way I was going to move about it. But I had to change my energy around it and my fear around it. And oh my God, someone's knocking on my door, and now they've knocked on my door. I have to let them in, and I have to say, and I have to. No, you running up in my house and trying to get me to co-sign on your business that I don't agree with the model of. Because real talk, think about, imagine I open a business and nobody likes it, but I impose it on everybody and tell them that they have to pay me if they own something that they use that my business needs to function, but has nothing to do with them. I could better my business, but I choose to ask for this anyway from them, who've already just paid their money for the thing that it is that they've paid for. Like, no other business is operating like that or allowed to legally. It run like, if any of us were to open a business and be even legally allowed to run it like that, it's not happening.
no, it's a scam.
So
It's a
the
Ponzi
answer
scheme.
is no. Computer says no. Energy says no. No.
You know, the thing is that there's the thing and then there's things you embody, and part of us going through the embodiment of these things change the frequency, and this will really really change things. And I know it's hard to believe for a lot of people, because you're thinking like, yeah, what I'll do that, I think I do that, but I don't see much change. But on a collective level, these things are all here collectively. It hasn't been put by you personally, but we do contribute with our energy to it. And the thing is, by bringing awareness to it and just being like, yeah, it's true. Like, how did we? Because my question is not why it is. If you have to pay or not, I'm not telling you to pay or not pay. All I'm saying is that how did we got here? What happened for this to even take place? I'm more interested in that, because preventing this prevent other things,
Yep.
after that.
Yep.
But if you don't, it's like, I'm not here, like I said, march in the street and all of that stuff. This is a symptom. You try and treat the symptom. You're not treating the cause. But part of us, we have to address it personally, on a personal level, and embody and understand this is a game. This is structure, existing structure. You do change the structure of the game collectively, but you do have to do you work on first. And that's what I've realized. And every time this has been happening, and it's the reason why you've seen people turning around. I mean, in France, we had what they call the Gilets jaunes, and it's starting, you know what? Fuck it. And to a point that they even apologized publicly to the minorities that were
The
from the
block.
blocks when they were doing the same thing maybe decades before them, but they were saying like, "Oh, you're all just thugs anyway," or trying to claim things, and this is not your country, or blah blah blah, whatever. And the same, I've seen the same people in France going and apologize publicly because they finally say, "We finally understand. We understand you and why you did it, and we can see." Because this is what the shift happened in France, where they started turning on their own people.
Yeah.
And these are the things where you see the integration taking place and
Yeah.
things changing and things shifting.
Yeah.
So that, yeah.
We're also to understand that it's not the type of thing where you're like, nothing to see here, it doesn't bother me, it's not happening to me, so it doesn't bother me. What we allow to see happening in front of us, even if it might not be happening to us, and we may have the opportunity to just remain the observer in the situation, take it as an opportunity to be able to say, I do not consent then, before you start becoming the actual person who is the first-hand experiencer of that situation. Why wait to become the first-hand experiencer before you say, I understand, I give it compassion, but I also forgive it to the point where I won't allow it in my field, whether I feel it directly or not. This I won't stand for energetically. I do not consent to this in my field. Where I live, this does not happen. Where I see this does not happen. This no longer happens in the world that I move in. Like energetically rebuking it, energetically withdrawing your consent in your I am. You see what I'm saying? Because at some point, when it comes around to actually hitting your situation, and now look, what's talking about death tax, how much people have to save up to die. Save up to die? Babe, listen, we got a fire pit, yeah?
Yeah. Let's just keep it practical.
Okay. Say that.
So the reason why I'm saying all of this is because it is time to really finesse the system. So like Shem explained before, you've got the pillars, you have all these different pillars from environment to religion, going through education and whatnot, right? Now you're going to interact with these things. Now, if you do interact with these things, you do it knowledgeably. So, for instance, you say, I cannot do this because I haven't been permitted, so to speak, or I can't because it's just the way it goes. Now, it's about the understanding of it. I understand what is currently authorized and can consciously explore, and I can consciously explore my available options. I can distinguish between what is impossible and what requires permission within this particular system. So you do acknowledge this system is the same thing with you, but because system changes, but that's where we are. So if that's where we are, we'll look at it for what it is and finesse it. The thing is, there's no point to say, oh fuck it, and still have to be subjected to it. Don't become the victim. And my point is, you do that by embodying that knowledge and this perspective, and then you inspire other people. And trust me, this change over people's frequency. People around you, they whether like it or get the fuck on. The reason being is because even for us, our own experience about homeschooling, some people, they just had to not talk to us because it's just down the line with them. But I know that left an imprint, and it does.
Yeah.
For later on, it's like a seed.
It triggered them. You're either going to trigger those around you, or you're going to activate those around you. That's it. It's like, that's it. It's like, wow, that triggered me. And they're either going to ask the question, why am I triggered? Or they're going to be at the stage where they're still blaming you because you triggered them. Not that the situation triggered them, but that's you. And then you leave that, and that can unfold. That's not your business. You see what I'm saying? Or there'll be a stage where it's like, wow,
so
I like that. There's something there I like. What do I like about that?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Yeah.
And the reason we're doing we saying this is as well is because you want to become the frequency that will allow you to tune in to more information in order to finish the system, i.e. about the secret TV and the idea behind the straw man and all of these things. They won't come into your field unless you begun to expand that aspect of you,
Mm.
not with judgment, but for just what it is.
Yeah.
And like Jay was saying, the deprogramming, part of the programming is to open yourself to possibilities. And once you do that, you start seeing changes.
Yep. See, some of us gonna come true.
Yeah, blessing. I keep telling people that when I leave this vessel behind, to just toss it in a hole. Hang on.
It's the chat's moving on.
Yeah, and I would
The
say
chat's
in the
swinging.
hole and plant a tree over it. It feel it feed the tree, and one day someone's going to find a femur sticking out of it. You know what it is? Yeah, it's funny saying this, blessed, because the same idea of feeling you need to be buried because we've been told, we've got to be buried and stuff like that.
Until you live somewhere in the countryside and realize and literally see them make an old cemetery into a new block of flats. And you're like, but what?
Yeah, that's what it did.
Where they put the bodies? And then you're like, oh snap.
That's exactly
Oh
what.
snap. Someone messed around, migrated, and didn't come and renew the flowers, and now grandma so and so ain't there anymore.
So this is the thing. It's funny that we are talking more about like I said before, contact, hypnosis, going into trance, daydreaming, like Shem said many times before. We getting upgraded, some knowingly, unknowingly, some getting of us getting implant or during that time or certain things happen. You may or may not remember. But this is to upgrade us to stop being subjected to this constant hypnosis.
Yeah.
And even when you say, well, I'm not, they all are, but I'm so awakened, stuff like that. You know what? There's always a layer, and you realize, yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
Unless you just say, it all doesn't really matter. I'm moving as best I can in every moment, and I forgive anything that I may do to betray myself. And now I know better. I move as sovereign as I can in every moment. And then you just move in your joy. If something upsets you, ask yourself why it upsets you and do something else, or at least challenge yourself to do something else the next time it comes round. But don't stay stuck on it. Don't stay stuck on it, because that's
Yeah.
where they want you to stay stuck on whatever happened last time, right?
Yeah, I don't. I no longer, and I understand your point of view, Tom. But I'm no longer seeing as good and bad, and these people are good and evil simply because this opened the door to manipulation too much. I see it as just is. It's what it is. It's a group of people, beings, not just people, but of decided well beings, but decided to come here for a particular experience, playing out a particular role, and you are just to understand what your role is. And then from there, once you begin to understand, because you can't really truly know what you really want until you understand that. This is the thing, the idea, like we all tell us, what do you really want? Yeah, you got intuition, but we're so connected from intuition anyway. A lot of people don't know who they are, what they are. They sit out here thinking they're humans. So they sit here, yeah, you might have a human body from a human template, but it doesn't mean you're human. Okay. This is the thing about race, and a couple of people come up to us about it. The lack of understanding sometimes, not for everyone, but that even if you want to base your story out of slavery, this is only 500 years.
When you're eons old.
When you've got people reincarnating thousands of time, and through ancient civilization that are over 50,000 years old. And the idea that we're from here, this is a laboratory planet with experiment. Sorry. What's that?
Do you know I'm laughing about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you're explaining to me, I'm getting it like this, yeah. when you're in a relationship for a long time, yeah, and you fall out with one another and you tell people, oh yeah, like, oh, you remember that anniversary where we weren't really talking to each other? Like, it was like, yeah, like that 2 years we weren't really friends. And they're like, yeah. Oh yeah, well, we're all right now. Yeah, we're all right. And then someone hears you and they're like, 2 fucking years.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing.
No, it's
But
nothing at
then they're
all.
like, I've had the longest relationship I've ever had is 2 years. It's like, yeah, but you're so zoomed in, zoom out,
Zoom
okay?
out. Yeah. It's like,
Zoom out. It is not that long.
yeah.
It is really not that long. And that will also remain if we are going to be in the frequency of good and bad, then don't over focus on the bad any more than you would the good. At some point, you have to say, fuck them. They're going to be what they're going to be. You do you.
The thing is,
Not everybody's program is going to fit your agenda. Not everyone else's agenda is going to fit your program. If it don't fit, don't wear it and just move it on. It's like, I don't eat shit cakes. I'm good. Boom. I bake my own cakes. Like, just at some point you got to throw your hands up and be like, that's not for me and that's none of my business. And I just don't co-sign.
well, this is why we right now have decided specifically to do episodes surrounding galactic history, cosmic the cosmic aspect of ourselves, consciousness, and this place and what it is. I mean, we talked before with Cash about what this planet is. He explained it very, very well. So that, and then we're going to get more episodes where interesting people about to come in and explain a few things. But the race things is a fake things. It's not, it's something that people find it hard to detach themselves from simply because they find it hard to fathom the idea that they are older than 5,000 years.
I think
In
it's
terms
more
of,
than fake, it's limiting. And I think that that's why we call things fake or bad or dark or anything like that. Anything that poses any limitation to our being, we just inherently reject at some point. We get to the point where it's like, if you dig deep enough into anything that irks you, even if it feels good for somebody else, but you're like, that doesn't feel right to me, it usually boils down to you feeling limited in some way by it.
that's true. That is true.
And it's like the opposite to the freedom that you know your frequency is at most vibrancy or just ease. Like, that is it.
And you know, there's no amount of OBE that you're gonna have that will necessarily answer that for you if you're not the frequency of that. It still remain about being open to something different. Because one person mentioned that they've been having OBE since their childhood, but they still needed some answer when it comes on to be African American, or what, you know, they call African American, because themselves they've been called African American, and the origin. Because the idea behind the motherland and are you from Ghana or Nigeria, and even the idea behind DNA and how they read DNA and the old what can I call it?
Rabbit hole.
Not even rabbit hole. It's kind of like, it's so inaccurate. It's like taking a part of the truth and extend it beyond beliefs.
We'll have to do a whole entire episode about that.
No, we will. But it's just to say that basically, if someone bases things out of statistic, then it's open for anything, isn't it?
Any interpretation.
Any interpretation. So when it comes down to that, and being in contact, a lot of us have decided to incarnate here specifically, well, and knowing they are an IP soul and they are part of other civilizations, and that is why we get in contact. Some of us because they looking over what's going on upon our agreement as a soul to say, hey, this is what we're going to do, and this is what I want to do this time around.
Yep.
So if you have a galactic family, kind of like this whole attachment around the idea of having a biological family, um, you see it differently now, right? Because it's just simply because people don't have the memory back. They can see that right now, so they can get the so-called honest experience. And even about the idea of having a honest experience, I'm not 100% for that either.
Says who?
Yeah, because,
Right.
well, let me mention a point. The reason why I'm saying that specifically is because think about it. You tell me what happened, wipe all your memory so you can have a genuine experience. Okay, I get with that, eh? To have the very intense experience, right? But then you leave the trauma in still.
And then these motherfuckers seem to remember everything.
And then
I thought we said
no,
all.
but think about it. And then there's an exploit on the trauma.
What the fuck?
That's not genuine to me. That's tempered.
So what we saying here?
So it's not exactly that, is it?
Yeah.
So
So
anyway,
questions. You ask them and you answer them honestly once you go in and just sit with yourself and be like, does smell like shit. I don't eat shit.
what did you say?
It's not for me.
If you quack like a duck, was it again?
If it quacks like a duck and it swims like a duck, it's a duck.
So if you
Or it could be a phoenix.
smell like shit, taste like shit, you eating shit.
Very eloquently said.
Very eloquently
Mr.
said.
Etymology. Okay.
I'm just having fun. But yeah, no,
Thank you, Coco.
Thank you, Coherence. You know what it is, yeah. Just bringing to your attention. I mean, and maybe you already done that, and it's great if you do carry on doing it. But yeah, keep asking why.
And just until you are satisfied with the answers that you are finding when you sit with it and you answer honestly for yourself. That's it.
But yeah, so for the rest of things, yeah, some things that it's actually you are actually seeing such a small part of yourself to say you just black or you just this or you just that. And even not every black people from Africa, we already covered it. If you take the Kanak from New Caledonia, if I put one of them in Africa, you'll think they're African, but they're not from Africa.
It reminds me when I went, I used to go most summers to the States, and I went over to the Bronx, and I was there minding my own business and shopping, and I cannot tell you how many people just came up to me speaking Spanish to me, like,
Hola.
Hola, mami, da 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 da, like, and like it's another Wednesday, right? And I'm looking, how am I going to break this down? And it's not that I'm like, and even though I'm English, yes, I am, I'm not even like what my people would consider English, like roadman English, like if you know, you know. So it's like, oh, actually, I am. It just didn't. The confusion on their face was like, what am I looking at?
But it's like me in Jamaican. I mean, I've been in London and they got like full blown Jamaican coming to me, like, assuming
like,
I'm Jamaican.
Wagwan. And then you're like,
and start speaking patois, and I'm like, okay, I understand only half of what you're saying, but I'm gonna act like I understand. It's easier that way, and then you can, feel like you're having a good day because you talk to a fellow Jamaican, and
but
you just
these times you didn't. Imagine how I felt when I got your number, right?
Right.
And it was only once I got home and spoke to you, I realized, oh, he's not even Jamaican. Wow. Is what it is.
But you're Jamaican, right? British Jamaican. Fancy that.
My radar was off that day. I'm not gonna lie. Or was it? Okay.
Or was it? Who knows?
Right.
We're from the same place, aren't we? Come to find out that,
yeah,
same planets,
right?
Planetary system, or whatever, if you want to call it a planet.
I do enjoy.
They're more dimension to me, but there you go.
Why you keep on popping up with new episodes to cover? Anyhow,
I'm just talking.
You're abundant. It is what it is.
Just talking. I love chatting about this stuff.
Guys, listen, I really do. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna give appreciation. what was the guy say? Arigato. I'm going to give appreciation right now for everyone in the chat, everyone who's just listening at home. I really do enjoy these Sundays. Like, I sit here, I genuinely come here, have a good time. I'm talking to my peeps.
Yeah. And Jay, you did say, yeah, they didn't wipe all your memory. I know. It's like, oh, is that genuine
You
experience?
missed a bit.
So what happened then? You know, when the equipment fails, be like, oh shit, it's
It was
gone.
like, yeah.
Came back. No, it can't. It's gone.
They're
That's
like,
it.
Jonathan, do your job.
Did
I
you send him
said,
through the wormhole already?
right.
Yeah, I did. Oh shit. Oh, what we're gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's unraveling real time. And you're like, oh wow. Let reach out to him.
Headquarters, we got a problem.
No, I can't. Let him have an OB. No, we can't. Because if he does get an OB, we're going to get it. So listen, let him.
All these unravelings. And so yeah, I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I love the way that you all come and turn up and support one another, give each other your perspectives, give us your perspectives as well. And it's just, I think at some point we all had to say, let's use this internet thing to finesse this whole entire situation to benefit ourselves. And if we're going to be able to reach out to anyone, let's reach out to the people we resonate with and actually share some shit.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's share some shit. And let's see how we can finesse this life together.
Yeah.
So yeah, blessed. You're all wonderful. It's just such a good time. I really do enjoy this. Yeah, you are all loved and appreciated by me. I thought I'd stop and say that in the now. I am.
Yeah,
that's what the
absolutely.
888 is bringing me. Yeah, Deanna Kennedy, you were chiming in about that. That's what the 888. We got dragons, we got contacts, we got things coming online, and honestly, I'm just like, yeah, I'm in the now. Like, thank you.
And you know what? Everything is about being the frequency of what you're looking for or what's presented to you anyway. You are by default. So if you find yourself somewhat on your YouTube feed, everything is about contact, certain things, and you got odd things happening during the night, marks you get on your body that you can't explain how they came up. Nothing dangerous or no illness or nothing like that. Things that happen, like on top of my head, I just got a spot, like just no hair, just overnight. Today was there, the next day wasn't, with a small mark there. And I was like, how the fuck that got here?
Yeah.
But things like this, when you get things like this, it's,
Deanna, Stacy. Oh, thanks, Stacy. Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Stacy.
Creo, we see all of you. So let's keep on moving. Let's touch a little bit on contact, and then I'm gonna get to these downloads that I had. They may resonate, and then I'll do my readings.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I was saying, yeah, I've been noticing, you guys, if you notice any things that
fart in an elevator, yeah. I love it.
if you notice anything,
that's what we're serving today.
Yeah, and act like you didn't do it. No, oh god damn, who did this? Yeah, so basically, yeah, if you get stuff, there's certain things you may notice, and it's very unusual, and it's like an overnight things. Yeah, the chances that you've got some contact. Now I'm getting used to it. Certain things up here, certain shapes up here on your body, triangle shapes, or certain things that these are, a lot of us getting contacted.
Yeah.
And in your feed, you get a lot of certain experiences people go through that you can relate with because you've gone through the same thing. This is not a coincidence.
Even that which we call like beauty marks or moles or stuff like that. Why do they appear suddenly? Why do they disappear suddenly? Why can they appear on one side and then you go through some sort of change or just some sort of shift in your life, and then they can appear on the other side? These are all our vessels speaking to us about different things in our lives. You see what I'm saying? I've had one recently that's come up in a perfect triangle, like bat, 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 like perfect triangle on this side. I used to hold 2 over here. Well, I still hold 2 of them here. And that's the thing. I saw this guy on TikTok saying on your left hand or your left arm, a lot of people who were in a certain program for time travel and space stuff, if you look on your left arm, the forearm, you'll have these 2. You'll have 2 that are particular. You may have more, but there'll be these 2 that are like particular. And I was like, oh, I hate talking. And I like looked at it and I was like, shit, he may have a point. But these all speak to us about the different things and point to the different things that we may have going on personally. This is why I said, like, this time, guys, as much as you can reach out to people and get their opinion, you're still to look at yourself, look at your vessel. What is it saying to you? Have you been having pains in certain places, or outside of pains? Have you just been having markings in certain places, birthmarks in certain places? Do you share those same birthmarks with the people who you're close to around you? Certain chronic illnesses that may turn up in your life, and when did they turn up? When did they show up? When did you see them? When did they appear? How did they appear to you? All of these speak back to us, and all of these are like I liken it to Hansel and Gretel. They're like biscuit trails back to who you are. They're like reminders. Note to self, remember this. Note to self, remember that. You're never ever too far away from your own remembrance.
Yeah, and things are unusual that you don't usually get or never had before. And the way it comes, like if something comes overnight, you notice something overnight, no pain, no itching, no nothing particular, and it comes overnight, very suspicious, and sometimes like a very particular shape. Likelihood is something like that happened.
Yeah. So Jay's saying, I channeled my pre-birth memories one time and I haven't been able to do it again. I feel so cheated. I want the experience again to examine the information better. Oh, you could go back to that. You just to meditate back into the frequency that you were in when you had it. So like, instead of trying to go into another one again, just return back to that same one again and that same place. But you remember the setting, you remember where you were, and then you just daydream back into that. And then you retrieve the same information. So you relive it like you would relive, oh, remember that time we went on that holiday, or remember that time when I was a kid? Just daydream back into it, and you'll receive some new insights on it. Don't fuss around it. Just like daydream back into it. Blessed said, I just had a dark patch show up on a shoulder out of nowhere, actually. Never used to be there. It's a square about 2 freedom units by 2 freedom units. Well, it's dark given my decent tan right now. Show off. Visibly darker than the rest of me.
Yeah, well, these are the things we're talking about.
I'm remembering our conversation, how Blessed, let me tell you, Blessed, he's shown up and had the nerve to show up with a tan and out tan me.
How you do that?
Blessed is fully tanned out here in these streets, and I'm out here in these struggle streets trying to get a little tan.
Because you're insisting to be in the UK, that's why.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I say, I'm love myself a cool weather.
I love that for you. I love that for you, Blessed.
But
I'm just like, can you share a little bit of your tan? Just a little. But yeah, so Stacy has said, my son has a birthmark of an obsidian shard dagger spot.
Yeah.
Point. Oh, wow. These are the things. And it's like all of these things we are just to look at and note.
Yep.
Just note. It's funny you said that, because Gracie has one on her shin.
We all have birthmarks, isn't it?
Yeah, but the dagger one, the obsidian shard dagger, yeah, that's literally
obsidian shard dagger,
one
yeah.
on the front of her leg. Yeah, so many beauty marks, so many ones that match. Yep. with exactly ones that can match your children's as well.
Yep.
Yeah, Deanna. Blessed. um and then Jay saying, I have weird markings on my wrist that I've stopped investigating because I was getting too close. Okay.
Yeah, you will find things like that. This is
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and something that medically can't be explained. You don't know. They say, no, you're all right, it's fine, nothing wrong, or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that I give a shit anymore about their opinion, but I'm just saying, um, yeah,
Yeah, Tom. Absolutely. Yeah. Exactly. It's like coordinates from, oh, this is from this time and that's from that time and this is from this time. And that's another thing as well. If you need more proof that everything is happening all together right at once, then these are why these things may appear, because it's an instance of you that's going through something that has had that appear and it's echoing back to your vessel.
yeah,
So it's marking you. The moment is marked. And that's, there we go. Proof that we are infinitely multidimensional. Boom, that came up on Tuesday. Wasn't there on Monday. Yeah.
So Tom saying
Oh, Stacey, yeah, that's what.
considering
That's
time is not linear.
Yeah.
It is more of a coordinate in the map of our minds, as in this time, that time, this era, that era. Okay, fun to mention that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Stacy say he's
It's on his
is
butt.
on his butt. Yeah, that's something for
Yeah,
so
that's why
right,
I was laughing.
so right kids. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, guys. All right. So, all right. My I okay, so there was a few things that came through in dream state. I've been doing dream messages as well. If you've been following my channel, I've been doing dream messages where I felt guided. If I knew that they were to be shared, I would share them. And sometimes I'll learn lessons from my own, and I know that they're to be shared. Not all of them, but the ones I do share, I know are supposed to be heard by somebody somewhere at some point. One of them was from my guides, who I had gone through a point of investigating the Gnostics, and just by investigating it, Gnosticism, just the whole demiurge archon situation, I've got a download and a knowing about how I felt about it and where it resonated with me and my stories about it. And I was like, where is this coming from? And then when I meditated on it, they were like, oh, you did that in a past life. Like you went through that. And this is where you're at. And I was like, okay, so that's how I feel that way about it. And because now I'm at a place where I'm like, the I am dictates your reality. So if you say I am and then you fill that space up, that is what dictates your experience. So if you are reinforcing the idea of these other things, that is what you are going to experience. Like anything else, the rule doesn't get circumvented because the belief changes. The mechanism stays. And for a while, I started saying, like, wow, like maybe my guides are like not even. And they were like, came in with a quickness, like, listen, let me just run this by you. You well know you're a guide. You well know at night you're busy. And I am. I go a lot to people in the collective. I go a lot to people in and around my town. Sometimes I will meet people before I meet them. And I'll be like, oh my God, that's the lady who I helped with this, or that's the guy who I did this, like this thing with, because he needed help for knowing about this and these things. How can you simultaneously have that and be shown proof in your life and then simultaneously say, well, you can't trust no one and everything's a lie and it's all these people, and put the power back outside of yourself? I thought we had this conversation about the I am with you. And I was like, I am cherry picking. That does sound like cherry picking. And then they said, all right, fine. Look, what about when you're a guide and your people don't believe in guides? How does that feel? And then I was taken not only to a time before where I'd been trying to guide this person, and for the first time I experienced what it was to be a guide and not to be listened to. And when I woke up, and I tell you guys, I felt such frustration. Like, you know, when you argue with a loved one, that amount of frustration you feel in your chest, it's like a ball of, it's like anger, anguish, frustration, pain, passion, tears. It's everything balled up. And then it kind of like yo-yos between your heart space and your throat chakra. Like you are beyond all of Vex, right? That's how I woke up feeling. And I was like, yeah. And this is how it would have you. Villanark, I'm going to tell you, you've got guides. This is how you came. I'm going to tap into my guides, but then I'm going to tell you guides are not real. So you don't tap into yours. And you've exercised your free will to talk yourself out of your own guidance. Meanwhile, I'm exercising mine to make sure mine always stays. My life ends up looking better than yours, but yours is still shabby as fuck out here. What are we saying? You are relinquishing these things. You are now saying that this doesn't exist because now you've gone and done what? You've said you don't want it. They cannot get involved if you say no, it's no. So then you've made somebody redundant, and they made me feel what that redundancy feels like as a guide myself. And sometimes I've been back and I've guided my younger self, and she's listened, and they showed me the times where she listened. And because thou shalt not snitcheth on thyself, I'm not going to tell you those times. All I'm saying is it was before I got caught. That's all I'm saying. I came in like, Shem, you may not want to do that. Now would be the time to just turn around. And I listened, and they're saying, see what happens when you listen. You've assumed your guides are always outside of yourself, not your future self talking back to you. So in those moments, what has it done to benefit you? If you don't believe in even anything outside of yourself, then believe in yourself. And how many times have you gone back and spoken to have been your own guide? How are you ever going to listen to your own intuition if you say, I trust no one? That equals you too.
You know, can I mention something about
Go
that?
for it.
Do you know what it is? There's two things. Number one, part of the sovereignty, it's moving towards a trustless system. We mentioned it before. The mere fact you need trust is a bit what you said about disclosure. The fact that you're somewhere where you need disclosure in the first place takes you away from sovereignty. Anyway, and when it comes down to guides, it's interchangeable as well. And maybe you're phase in your life. Have you thought that perhaps you don't need guides anymore? You are leading yourself. You're guiding yourself. You reach that point. It's just a lot of people feel like they could have done with being in contact with the guides growing up, and they were there. You're never alone. But and mentioning the fact that it's within, it's part, they're like an extension of you, seeing it because you're constantly in separation. That is why you don't get into be in contact with them, because you're not the frequency. You're the frequency of separation. If you become the frequency of separation, then may you be separate. That's just the way it is how powerful you are. So acknowledging the fact that you are powerful that much, that you can will in existence situations that you didn't even want just by thinking of the same set situations. And because things are polarized, so when you say, oh, I need to be with my guide, there also the polarity of that. You need not to be with your guide. Because if the premise of you being with your guides is absolute sovereignty, well, you're not sovereign when you do that, because you come from a place of desperation, you from a place of lack. So these are the concepts that people find it hard to get in contact with the guides, because they desperately want to be in contact with the guides. And the same thing with OBEs and the rest. Fact of the matter is within.
I also was shown one of the people who I'm guides to, but he was going through grief. And grief is something that I am familiar with. And I remember when I was going through grief, how hard I was to reach. And I couldn't reach him. And when I woke up, I was very upset about the fact that I couldn't reach him. He had put himself in such a state, about his grief. He just gave up on believing that he could get any relief from it. And I was there and I was in his face and I was just trying to even trip him up. He was by the fridge and I tried to just trip him just so he'd have a moment just to like come out of it a little. And he was just in too deep.
Hold on a minute.
What?
That's my point.
What?
You remember I had the experience with that looking, I don't know, sort of like from Asgard lady looking like tripping me up.
Yeah.
You're tripping up people.
Well,
you're out here.
He wouldn't listen. And I was literally coming to help him with what it is he needed in that moment, but he just wouldn't listen. So I just needed to stop him right there because he was about to head out and do some stupid shit. And I was like, oh, please don't do that.
Don't do that.
Please just don't do that. We can just ease up on the stupid shit. And that's the thing as well. How you would speak to someone is how your guides will speak to you. They are not above you. They are your peers. Hence why if you tell them back up, they're just going to back up. And if you don't believe in them, they're just going to just ease up. There's nothing they can do because you are commanding it and you are in charge. So that's how that one goes. On a random note, thank you, Deanna. Yeah. So that's what I was shown, and I was like, okay, bet. Okay, guys, the truth is, last time you did say something, it was wildly specific and wildly accurate. And I did resonate with it. I did act upon it. Once I had kind of said, how do I feel about it? And it's been great since. So I feel you. Doesn't mean new information means out with all the rest. It's just to have a look at how powerful you are.
Yeah.
How powerful you are.
And you know what the thing is, if you think about it, would you need, ask yourself the question, would you need someone would you rather someone that want to collaborate with you or need to collaborate with you? These are two different vibrations.
Yeah.
So if you are working with a team, so to speak, of guides, why would you want to be needed? But just it's nicer to be wanted than be needed, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Jay said, honestly, I'm no longer trying to guide anyone anymore. I'm trying to wake up anyone unless they're seriously seeking it. I connect with enough souls in this reality, but they refuse to wake up. This guy didn't need waking up. He just needed some daily comfort and felt like he couldn't find it. I was simply going to guide him to his room and show him an old CD. That's all. In that moment, that's all he wanted. That's all he he had asked for. He just didn't know where it was, and I was just going to point him there. And when he played that CD, he was going to remember the person who it was he was grieving, but in a higher frequency than what he was able to previously. And it was going to alleviate his grief just for that moment, enough for him to see past his sorrow and look back into his own power. Guide doesn't mean I tell you what to do. It's just a signpost. I'm not in the I can't wake anybody up. Even in the moment where I could say, I've slept through thunderstorms. And after that, say less, right?
Say less, isn't it?
If you ain't going to wake up, you ain't going to wake up.
So
when you guide, you do not dictate. You just say, you were asking for this. Here's a helping hand. If you want it, it's there on the side. And they still have to go and pick it up. You could take the donkey to the water, but if the no one drink it, there's nothing you could do.
yeah.
Okay.
I see a soul. Yeah, you got your answer from Tom. Yeah, absolutely. Past
Yeah.
family members can be your guides. Yeah.
Yes, they can.
And even if they know so-called a sign, whatever, you can ask for them to help you out.
Yeah.
It's up to you. It's free will at the end of the day. So.
Yeah. And just as you can close your eyes and know who is sitting in front of you, the same discernment is for you to use when these people appear to you. It's like sometimes I've asked, oh yeah, so, and this is something I used to do. Oh, I want to see my guides. Yeah. And then lots of people would turn up and I would realize, I don't know you from a can of paint and I don't feel like you know me either. You know what? Only those who really know me stay. And I'll shut my eyes in the dream or the OBE state or whatever state I'm in, the meditative state. And when I open back that eye, the only one that remains is the one who's a frequency match to me. And I'll be like, oh, there you are. And it feels different. Just as you could be sitting somewhere and you know who's come in the room and who hasn't. Just as you can hear someone coming up the stairs, and if you've got different family members you live with, you know who it is coming up the stairs. It's a feeling that's you can't mistaken it. Energy signatures are real out here. This is how someone can't approach me as Omondi on the other side and be like, yeah, no, you're not. Because I know it. I know it. I know the feeling. I know the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see soul is saying that I'll just ask who is my guide and I saw someone there. I mean, in my head, not outside. The thing is, there's no space for doubt. So you are that powerful. So if you do ask a minute, then you're going to receive it as you attend it to be. Nothing else. But do not entertain every other ideas or fears or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
You do have to have that fucking you say, no, this is what I'm doing.
Yep.
And assume, why wouldn't you? I mean, you can't have that all the time. That's the thing. That's not how it works. This thing is like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Boom. This is what I would love to experience. Boom. That's it.
And when you walk in your own sovereignty, the more you respect everyone else's. Like Coco's saying out here. Souls have their own plans and each one is as sovereign as we are. This is why, as a guide, you realize quickly, with a quickness, universal law does not dictate that you impose your will on anybody, any other sovereign soul, anyone's will, because it just won't work energetically.
Well, it's against being sovereign. Someone who's sovereign doesn't feel the need to do that.
Once you really understand that, you don't even want to dabble in the energy because you know where it goes once rerouted. You know where it goes once rerouted. And, it's funny this is coming up. So thanks, Coco, because we're at a stage now where those of us who are deciding that we want to wake up to our sovereignty, wake up to our power, wake up to remembering who we are, have understood this. So we are now not only reclaiming our own energy signatures where they were given knowingly or unknowingly, we're also claiming back the parts of us that decide that we needed to hang on to anybody else's. It's a two-way street sometimes. Codependent relationships rely on two people, right? You tether yourself to me, I tether myself to you, da 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 da. What happens when that doesn't work anymore? When you really see the severity and the weight that that holds on your experience, you start to relinquish the need to even hold those type of relationships. Just as you wouldn't chain yourself to any of these pillars we have going on, you do not automatically chain yourself to any other soul, because you realize it's a falsehood in itself too. You needn't. You needn't. Energetically, it's not worth the rebuttal. It's not worth the balancing. It's not worth the imbalance it throws in your own biofield. So you don't even move like that anymore. And that's why we're seeing so much what we call darkness happening, because we are all waking up to the idea that these things have to be rebalanced. Everyone's claiming back everything that's their own, that's meant for them, which means some people are going to end up with things that empty-handed, because it wasn't theirs to begin with. And what's meant for you ain't ever going to be lost. It cannot be. It is yours in your own energy signature. It has your signature within it. It's written, it's encoded for your biofield. You haven't got to worry about it being taken from you. It will be returned. Once you return to self and stop filling up your space, your energy, and your biofield with other people's bits and pieces, knickknacks, and whatever, you will fill that space with your own energy. And you will be able to be more of a match to that which is for you. So you can stop being reactive and start being responsive, because everything that is feeding your field will be by you, for you, meant for you. You won't find yourself in turmoil about anything, because you're not using anything that's foreign to your field, that's not meant for your signature, that's not meant for you. You see what I'm saying? And once people start understanding that, they're like, oh, well, it just works easier if I just move like this, in my true authenticity, in my true sovereignty. So that's what I was shown. Let me move on. Which was a tough lesson, because I woke up, I was really discombobulated. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was really pissed that he was just like, he chose to stay in grief. But then I also said, Shem, you've chosen to stay in grief more than once. Have compassion, even though it's frustrating when you see it played out in front of your eyes. Just send him love and compassion in this moment. Yeah. So I was also shown a phoenix. At first, I thought it was a peacock that had not fanned out its wings. And what it gave me was an air of just somebody who could easily take flight, but who was simultaneously deciding not to be prideful about it. Having the option there of being able to do more, but choosing not to until the right time, so that they could stay in the frequency of what it is to be able to do something, but just choosing not to, which kind of like elevated their feeling of what abundance is to them. And this was not monetary. This was ability-wise. Like, they have the ability to do something, they know they can do it, and they're choosing to wait to do it in the full knowing that it can be done, it can be achieved. So they could just sit in the frequency of what achievement feels like. Someone's returning to that level of peace. And they were walking on sand. This bird, it was walking on sand. It was walking on a sand, but in the middle of a sea that the tide was out. And I also saw the Saint Michel, the castle in France, Saint Michel, the island, which works a lot by whether or not the tide is in or out. So if you know, you know, but you can Google it, Saint Michel. And it reminded me of something being able to be reached, but being in the near distance, but being able to be confident enough to take your time to reach there in the knowing that it could be reached. Because what lies ahead is the opportunity to do more. But what you're practicing now is the ability to know what it sits like in the frequency of being successful, of being able to do something, but choosing when you can do it, rather than feeling like you can't do it yet and that's why you haven't done it, and none of that. Sitting with yourself long enough to know that you can achieve what you want, knowing it could be achieved now, but you're just choosing to wait for the right time. So that's for someone. Also the number 1335. 1335. I'm also picking up on people who have actually experienced being on the meridian line of the Saint Michel, all the way down the meridian line as well. And then also then simultaneously connecting back to their past lives through that. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the next one that I had, which was, I was observing a lady who had a job, but in her lunch breaks, she has a small office, and it looked like the settings was the 90s. So it's either the building, it was either the last time it was decorated was like the 90s, or it literally was the 90s that I was looking at. And she sat down at this desk. She shut the door. She sat down at her desk. There was an old filing cabinet behind her, the metal ones, 3 drawers. And she went in there and she took out some tarot cards and she sat by her desk for the lunchtime and she practiced tarot quietly, but it lit her up. And she was there thinking and just sitting in the thought that, should I do this? Can I do this? I enjoy doing this. I love doing this. And she was just practicing and wondering, can I do this? Should I do this? Is this for me? Should I even leave this job? She was entertaining the thought of it. But as she was entertaining it, I was looking at her field, her thought form, and she was just so lit up by doing it. It kind of circumvented all of the naysaying that was around her. And she chose not to do it in front of any of her workmates. It was like her own little secret. And her conclusion at the end of these practices was maybe. But this day was different because this time what she had actually seen in the cards was accurate and had been shown to her synchronistically that morning. So whoever this is for, it seems as if this innate ability is something that is more than a hobby now, and it's stepped up to the point where you're wondering and you're skilled at it. You're more than intrigued. This is more than a hobby. And if this is a divination that you choose to do, look into the sovereign choice that you have to do so without thinking about outside judgment or rebuttal or anything to do with that, because that's nothing to do with you. You only but have to check in on self. Everything else is noise. Everything else is noise. If it lights you up and you are doing no harm to yourself, to anyone in those moments, and this person was responsible with it. They'd been practicing this until they felt they were so good at it, until they felt like they could really remove some judgment from even how they would read the cards. They wouldn't try to they wouldn't let the cards read them. They would just flow with them. They would let the divination come through. They would use it in coherence with their own intuition, not trying to create a story around something. They knew. And in that moment, I just said one word to her. I whispered, confidence. So for whoever that resonated with, confidence. So, confidence. There we go. All right. Where are we? I got lost in that one.
No, you haven't. You've been
Okay.
doing your thing.
All right. I also want to thank everybody who turned up and saw the Steve episode yesterday, who's the hypnotherapist. He is just as lovely and a beautiful soul as he seems to be. He has a wonderful sense of humor, and he is a no-nonsense therapist. Like he knows his trade. He really does.
Yeah.
It was a really lovely conversation we were able to have with him, and we did really enjoy it. Also, we are going to be having another frequency asked questions coming up this month. We also have our next Sunday lives coming up, which we'll be here again next Sunday. And we really look forward to these conversations with you guys.
Yeah, and we have also a personal consultation now.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so
It's a sliding scale. It's either you turn up here or do a catch us if you can, and see if you could catch us in a live, and we'll try to answer some of your questions. You can either email tell us at theos888.com, and we'll try and get them answered with Best and Corey. We'll just see what we can do. Or you can jump in the chats. You can jump on our Discord for £1.11 and chat to the community. They're full of knowledge, full of wisdom of their own. Or you can just support us with the 444, and you can do catch us if you can replays, all of the other replays, and anything else that we've got going on. You can catch us there. Or, like Omondi said, we do one-on-one readings, and now we're doing personal consultations where you can sit down and discuss things with us privately, and we'll just take some time and really let you unpack it in a place where you're ready to. Yeah.
So I saw Jay for the Discord. Basically, you have to join the Discord through our membership. So we'll send you an invite, and then you can just join. You whether join under the 111 or the 444. So it's up to you. And I mean 1.11 and 4.44. It's not the same than 444.111. Yeah. So it's a private Discord for the community. So yeah.
Yeah. It has been wonderful speaking to all of you guys.
So just quickly to answer you, Jai,
go
you go. The link is in the description, or you see the Discord. You go on there, membership, plans, whatever they're here, and you just pick one, or I'll send you. We'll send you the invite. As soon as you can just join with the rest of the community there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, we're not on IG anymore. We're not on. Remember I was telling you they were pulling my edges out there. TikTok, IG, it's just not for me, babe. I'm out here like now.
Yeah, but the thing is, just to be understood, when it comes to the community, the reason why we pick Discord, for the one who don't know, is because Discord, it's very decentralized. It's your own server there. So you don't have the influence that this platform can have, whether if one day they decide you transgress their whatever rules or it's not up to scratch, that they can shut down your operation, as opposed to Discord is a bit more autonomous.
Yeah.
So that's why we pick Discord, and it's picked by gamers, people in different industries.
Yeah, and also you do not need us there to have a conversation with one another. You are a community. You're all grown and sovereign. If you want to talk to each other, You chat to each
Yeah,
other.
you talk to each other.
You chop it up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it is what it is.
There's channels there. We'll set up the server already ready for you guys. You can pick the channels where you want to talk about certain subject. Now you can do it in general if you so wish to. But obviously, if you have certain things about OBE and these, and you want to really get to people to find these informations, because as it grows, get more, difficult to find certain discussion. So just go in the discussions and then talk about it there. Someone can just search by ND, OBE, or whatever it is, and then participate in the conversation.
Or start up a conversation of your own.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's moderated by Blessed. You'll know Blessed. Buy him a coffee. He's out here. He is out here. So you know what I'm saying,
We've got
it's
John
just
as well.
it's the
That's very
peeps.
active as
John
well.
is active.
Yeah.
Deanna, you've got a whole load, like Juliana's over
MJ,
there. MJ, like
Yeah,
we
so
just out here
yeah, we
chopping it
are.
up. And by the way, Danny, your garden, chef's kiss.
Yes.
Chef's kiss. So yeah, but hang on a minute. I am guided to pull crystals.
Go ahead.
I was going to go live on my own channel, and then I thought to myself, you know what? No, I'm going to pull some crystals, and then I won't be. Less is more. That's what I heard. So that's what I'll do. That's another thing. A lot of us now are entering into an era where we're realizing that rest is just as important as going, to the point where we're dissolving the idea around the fact that doing more is more, working hard is honorable. Like there is no honor in resting your bones or settling your vessel in any way. There is. It's part of respecting the self. It's part of restoring your energy. Is part of sitting with self, is part of your self-love, to be able to sit still sometimes, to say it's okay, because if you're more than this vessel, why must you? And I'm seeing somebody working so hard, they like literally like grind their body into the ground. Like there's no honor in that anymore. And it's like you're made to look at that right now. Some of you are getting to the point where it's like, no, that's not as loving as I could be in this moment. So you're asking yourself to sit for a little bit, sit still with yourself a little bit, be a bit more kinder to your vessel in the ways where you give it rest, you give it a chance to catch up and restore itself, do what it's supposed to do, it wants to for you. And do what energetically it's been asked to do, but you have not been allowing it to do. All right. 1, 2.
Oh, there you go.
3. What's that about?
Very familiar.
Do more to right. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Do more to right. Understanding your soul journey. Labradorite, esoteric knowledge. And rose quartz, unconditional love and forgiveness. This isn't 3 separate readings. These are one readings, but with 3 separate frequencies coming in. So for each person, I'm not even saying pick a crystal. One of these 3 things have come up in your field and you have handled and settled it. Thank you. Some of you have been getting a lot of dreams lately that have stepped up your understanding about your soul journey, whether or not you've experienced past lives or you've gone into times where you're getting back memories that you forgot as a child, or you are also getting flashes of a future that you thought that wasn't maybe for you anymore, Or like, say you always wanted to be, say, a surfer, and somehow now you're having dreams of you surfing easily, something like that. Those things are coming up back in your field. You're being asked to open the book on yourself again and really have a look and read into your own field in its entirety. Not be scared of the things that you left unread. Not be scared to have a look at them because you feel like it's going to be too painful not to have them, so you don't look at them anymore. You're being asked to look at them with the knowing that they can be yours and that you are already the frequency match of it, hence why it's just been sitting there waiting for you. Yeah, we got the 7 of Wands in reverse. It's something that you are no longer fighting against. You're no longer trying to keep these things at bay. And even if before you could, it's like they're resurfacing again. So maybe you always wanted to play guitar and then you kind of put it down and you just like, nah, that's not what I'm going to do. All of a sudden, it just dominates your every waking thought. You can no longer turn your back on the things that it was that you wanted to do or had dreamt to do in the past or dream of doing. It's like everywhere you turn, there you are. There is a song there, ain't there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Teddy Pendergrass.
I thought I heard somebody.
It's not telling you everywhere you go. I think.
All right, well, there we go. Ace of Wands in reverse. Yeah, this is not something that's new to you. And I'm getting that with esoteric knowledge as well that's coming through. There's a remembrance that's happening. So maybe you're somebody who is going and learning more esoteric knowledge, but as you're reading about it, you're like, I know this. How do I know this? Like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Why does that make sense to me? I always felt that way. Why did I always feel that way? It's like, as you're going and investigating some of these things for yourself, you're realizing that it's not an investigation, it's a memory of something you always knew. So now it's serving more as confirmation. The Hanged Man. Yeah. You are having a different perspective on what it means to gain knowledge. You're not putting it on a pedestal anymore. You realize no matter what position you are in life, you are of the frequency of knowing. There is no, you're no longer getting that twisted. You're no longer feeling like you have to, your life has to be thrown upside down for you to learn something. You're now awakening to the idea that I don't have to go through turmoil to learn that. I don't have to be discombobulated to learn that. I can just do it this way. And it doesn't matter how life tosses and turns with me, I will always know. Yeah. I will always know. I will always know. Either way, I'm cool. Okay, and that's where the rose quartz comes in with the unconditional love and forgiveness. You're starting to really home down in on the unconditional love and forgiveness that you have for yourself and realizing that charity starts at home. So when you're thinking about giving unconditional love and forgiveness, you're giving it to yourself first. The way that you've chosen to move in the past, the way that you move now, and the way that you're planning on moving. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. For some of you, this pentacle here is the manifestation of the things that you have always wanted. It's the manifestation of actual wealth for you. For some of you, it's the manifestation of knowledge. But whatever it is, it's whatever you have manifested that brings about stability in your life. And it's to the point where you can sit with it and it's nurtured you. And it's nurtured you to the point where you are now stable enough to be able to nurture others. Because you have a perspective that you cannot, And I'm seeing, you know, when they tell you put your own life mask on first, and then you could put your own. Is it a life mask? What's that mask that comes down? Breathing mask? Oxygen mask. Put your own
Oxygen, yeah.
oxygen mask on first.
Yeah.
It's that energy it's giving. You've
I
understood
understand,
it.
yeah.
You're like, of course, it makes sense. So your own cup is full, and now you're able to nurture because you're nurturing from a place of stability. So when things don't go your way, you don't have to spiral anymore. It doesn't put you in a state of spiraling or regret or resentment for those who you have to show up for or feel that you want to show up for. Because where you're giving from is not from a place where you find yourself on empty, and you're no longer surrounding yourself with people who would ever expect you to leave yourself on empty in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. And underneath it is this. We got the Seven of Swords and the Empress energy. You're sitting steady, and it's sitting right between the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress. The person who you used to be okay. So the person who you used to be in that overgiving stage, used to steal these moments, this harvest from yourself. And you're realizing every time that you felt like you were taken advantage of, it started with you not looking into what it is you had to give to yourself first. And then it showed up in your field. But since you've sat with it enough and sat back in your Empress energy and sat back in your heart space and known that your harvest belongs to you first, and you will have enough to give. Trusting you will have enough to give starts with knowing that you are enough in the first place. All that scammer energy, all that energy of being taken from or taken advantage from, you've been able to alchemize that now into knowing when the balance needs to be struck, knowing how to take hardship and turning it into your favor, or knowing how to take the energy that feels like it needs to overtake and just rebalancing it within yourself. Because now you realize the energy that overtakes feels like it needs to take too much, requires the energy, the equal energy of that feels like it needs to give too much. And in striking that balance, you are now sitting in your full abundance and your full harvest season, which is why they're coming up with this, because it's summer. It's your season. It's the balance of that feminine energy where you can sit with it. You can sit with yourself and be okay about it. You can sit down and know that you will still be able to provide for yourself. Back to the rest, they're showing me resting is okay. You are still attracting, you are still abundant when you are in resting, because you are in the frequency of giving back, but you're giving back energetically to yourself. So you're never not in receiving mode, and you're never not within giving and taking. It's this infinite flow. You're never not in infinite flow. All right. That's the message for today. Okay. That was for somebody.
Oh yeah, definitely for Diana and Juliana.
Bonjour, right to right.
Bonjour, right to right.
Yeah.
So Juliana saying, I realized this week I was looking for something in a relationship that I wasn't giving to myself.
Okay. That's a big realization.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's a beautiful one too.
Mm.
Now you know what awaits you. Okay. So, guys, as per usual, lots of love to all of you. Much appreciation. Have a wonderful Sunday. And whenever you're catching us, have a wonderful moment. All right. We'll see you soon. Take care and much love.
Much love to you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.